Hi, welcome to Quilting with Lori. My name is Lori Dickman. Thank you so much for dropping by my channel today. I have a great Scrappy project for you where you can use your scrap stash. I'll let you know in a minute here what you're going to need to pull. But I've got some great tips on how to make half square triangles. In fact, we're going to be making 32 half square triangles all at once in one large square. I'm going to show you how that's done so that you can make the jewel box block and quilt. What a beautiful quilt this is, and a great scrap buster. So what you're going to grab from your stash is, first of all, your 2-inch bin of scraps. So grab your 2-inch bin of squares. And then you can grab your 4-inch bin of squares if you'd like. You can make your half square triangles from 4-inch squares, and they would be done individually. You'd make 2 at a time instead of 32 at a time. But if you'd like to learn how to make 32 at a time, then what you're going to need to grab is a light and a dark, or a light and a medium 16-inch square. So here's my dark, and I'll show you the lights here. I've got them on my table. I've already started them. So let me now take you to the tabletop and show you how this is done. All right, here on my tabletop, I have a set. This is the dark, this is the light, and they are right sides together. I've got this one already done, but those are my 2 fabrics that I have chosen. And you'll see there are some diagonal lines and there are some horizontal and vertical lines. This particular square, I've got it already sewn and marked. When I do cut this apart on the red lines, we're going to have 32 half square triangles, all in one fell swoop. I love that. Now I'm going to show you here again, I've got this one is my medium and my light fabric. I have decided, according to the block here, this particular half square triangle block will be the outer blocks or squares on my corners. And then this one here, which has the medium and the light, will be my center inside half square triangles. So I've got some dark light half square triangles on the outside. I have some medium light half square triangles on the inside. And then the rest of it is simply 2-inch squares, which will finish 1.5 inches in the block. So let's take a look at this. To make 32 half square triangles, how do we mark this? Let me show you. All right, you're going to need a nice large ruler that will extend across the block diagonally. So I have I think this is a 24-inch ruler that I have here in my hand. I have pinned the outer 4 corners just to make sure that my 2 blocks are they're right sides together, and I don't want them shifting. So I'm trying to keep them steady as I go. Now, what I'm going to be drawing first, I'm using a black ink pen. I'm going to draw all the diagonal lines. And that's corner to corner here, corner to corner there. Then what you'll want to do is get your block on your mat and then find the 8-inch mark on the center mark for each of it. You could press it in half and vertically and horizontally and make a crease mark there. You'd see where that is as well. That's another way to do it. I just used my mat, and so since this block is 16 inches square, 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches, 8 inches is the center mark. And so I just simply took my black pen. My black pen is for showing me, it's my seam guide. So I'm going to draw a line there, here, here, and there. So you see a big square here, and that again, it's diagonal, diagonal. This is diagonal, and this is diagonal. And what you're going to be doing as you're creating your half square triangles, you're going to stitch. And I marked the stitching lines on this one with this blue pen so you could kind of see the white thread disappeared in there, so I kind of wrote over it with my blue pen. But you're simply going to start over here and a scant 1/4 inch on each side of that diagonal line. You are going to stitch a 1/4 inch seam allowance, a scant 1/4 inch. Then you're going to come over here and stitch a scant 1/4 inch seam allowance on both sides. Then you're going to do the same thing in this square in the center. You'll start on the inside here, and I guess I need to pull this up so you can see it. I apologize. You will sew around this square in the center, a scant 1/4 inch to the inside. You'll sew here, 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 and there. And then you'll come to the outside of that square. And so a scant 1/4 of an inch here, 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 and there. And then all of your stitching is done. And it will look like this. Then the last thing you'll need to do, once everything is stitched, is identify where we're going to cut. The red lines are the cutting lines. Let me show you how to mark the cutting lines. I went and brought you closer so that you can see the stitching lines. So you see right here, I stitched on the inside of that ink line. You can just follow my blue pencil. I stitched on the inside all the way around, and then I stitched on the outside all the way around. And then, of course, I stitched on each side of these long diagonal lines. So I stitched a 1/4 of an inch on the inside and the outside of every black ink line. And so I would recommend that you follow the same, use the same pens that I'm using, and that might help you until you get used to the technique. But hopefully, this close-up, you're able to actually see the stitching lines that I have created here. Now, let me take you to show you how to mark your red lines, which are the cutting lines. Right, here is my square that I've already done, and I'm using a red ink pen to mark my cutting lines. I'll actually be cutting on the red lines. I've got my long ruler. Again, identify the halfway points. So if you had creased this horizontally and vertically, or use your mat to identify where that 8-inch mark is in the center, find that and draw that in, as I have done. Then you need to find the 4-inch marks, because it should be 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. That equates to 16. And make sure that your line is following through the center of those ink lines, the black ink line. So just use that as your guide, and go ahead and draw your red line all the way down there. Same way on this side. You're going to draw them horizontally, following the center where it meets there. And that's, again, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. And so I have drawn those red lines all the way across this 16-inch blacks. Now, the only thing I'm going to do is cut on the red lines. And when we open this up, we're going to have a total of 32 half square triangles. Let's see. All right, so I'm cutting on the red lines. If you had a big rotating mat, this would be a great time to use it. I do have one, but I don't have it down here right now, so I'm simply going to use my mat. There we go. I could flip the mat, or I can just simply flip these. And again, I'm cutting on the red lines only. The red lines all go horizontally and vertically. The black ink lines all go diagonally. All right, now that we have them cut apart, and they actually, at this point, look like what they would look like if you were just to use 4-inch squares from your stash, put them right sides together, draw a diagonal line, and sew on each side of the diagonal line. This is what you'd end up with, and you have a total of 2 half square triangles for each. Yeah, you have a pair of them for each of these. And so what we have here is a total of 32 that we've made all in one fell swoop instead of making them individually. Now, you can certainly make them individually. If you have a lot of 4-inch squares that you want to get used up, make your half square triangles from your stash. Otherwise, this is a great way to do this. Now, what you need to do for each one of these is cut them on the black line. This is the only time you cut on the black line, is once you have all of it cut apart. So I'm going to grab this, and I'll just show you what they look like. Here they are right here. And depending on what type of square up ruler you have, if you're just using a regular square up ruler, which has the 45-degree line in the center, then you would press this open and then square it up to 3.5 inches. It's got to be 3.5 inches. Each and every half square triangle unit must be 3.5 inches. If you're using maybe a black lock or maybe a clearly perfect slotted trimmer, then you would keep it as a triangle and get it squared up and before you actually press it open. When you're pressing your half square triangles, I like to actually press so that the seam allowances are open, but you don't have to. That does take a little time, but you will find if you press them open, when you're putting together your units, there isn't as much bulk in the corners there, and so your block will lay a lot flatter. Now, since there's only a total of 8 half-square triangles in our block, and because they're kind of spread out across the block, you can certainly just press your seam allowances to the dark. All right, so I have laid out my half square triangles. There are 4 on the outer edges, and you put the darker side to the outside. And I think what I'm going to do when I finish my medium light, I'm going to swap that out and I'll put those in here. Or maybe not. We'll see what I plan to do. You could make each and every one of these blocks a completely different color if you choose. Maybe you want one block to be reds, one blues, one greens. Make it really scrappy. That makes it a beautiful jewel box quilt. So have fun with it. But what I've done here is I've got some lighter to medium blues that are creating a square, a diagonal square here all the way around. And then, of course, the lights are on each side. These are all simply 4 patches. And once these 4 patches get put together, they will be 3.5 inch units. So each of these units must be 3.5 inches. It's going to go together in 4 rows of 4 columns. It's basically a 16 patch unit, and that creates the block. Very simple, very fast, and it uses up a lot of your scraps. For the center of this, I did want to share with you using just 2 mediums and 2 light 4-inch squares. I've paired them together, right sides together, drawn the diagonal line, and sewed a scant 1/4 of an inch on each side of the drawn line. Now I'll cut them apart, I'll cut on the drawn line, open them up, square them up to 3.5 inches, and I'll have my medium light triangles for the center. All right, so as you can see here, I've made the half square triangles just simply using a 4-inch square. So that's another way to make your half square triangles from your stash. And I've started constructing the block. I have the top row done here with the darker half square triangles facing out. I have the medium light half square triangles in the center. And there's 4 patch units on each side of these, 4 patch units on the center. And just make sure that your blues or whatever color you're using here is creating that diamond, if you will, that goes all the way around. Let me finish putting these together. I'll finish the block and square it up to 12.5. I've completed the block. I have it squared up to 12.5 inches. I have my medium light half square triangles in the center. I have my dark light half square triangles on the outside. And then I have my blue squares forming a sort of a diamond around the center there. And I think it would be a beautiful block to make every one of the blocks in the quilt in a different scrappy color, all reds, all blues, all greens, all bright yellows. Whatever you choose, find out what you have in your scrap stash and use it up. I think a monochromatic is beautiful as well. So this blue is quite pretty. And I think what I'll do on mine is continue using up the blues that I have. Please let me know in the comments if you plan to use up your scrap stash and make this beautiful jewel box block and quilt. I'd love to hear from you to know what you're planning to do with it. Great scrap buster, and I hope you'll take care of your scraps. And if you haven't already, set an appointment to get your scrap stash cut, sorted, and organized. Make sure you do that. Set an appointment with yourself so that you set aside some time every week or every month to scrap up those remnants of scraps from previous projects, which is what I've done. And I teach that in my techniques book. So I'll link my techniques book and my patterns book below so that you can look at that. There is a video that corresponds to this techniques book. It walks you step by step through how I cut, sort, organize, store, and use my scrap stash. So grab that video and watch that. I think that will really help you. So enjoy. Thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. I love to hear from my viewers. Thanks so much for joining me, and until next time, happy quilting.